Ever wonder how rain forms? It's a fascinating process that begins high up in the sky. Just picture it. A serene cloud floating miles above the earth plays a crucial role in this beautiful phenomenon we call rain. But what many may not know is that the story of rain starts long before the cloud even forms. It all begins with something you and I interact with every day: water. Our planet is a bustling water factory. Oceans, rivers, and lakes cover nearly 70% of the Earth's surface. This water isn't static, though. It's constantly on the move in an ever-cycling process that's vital to life as we know it, a process known as the water cycle. And the first stage of this cycle? You've guessed it: evaporation. The sun heats the water and it rises into the sky, invisible and transformed. So, the process starts with the simple concept of evaporation, but there's much more to it. The process of rain formation starts with something called the water cycle. Now, the water cycle isn't some complex scientific phenomenon. It's a natural process that happens around us every day. It's the constant journey of water from the earth to the sky and back again. Let's start with evaporation. This is where heat from the sun causes water from oceans, lakes, and rivers to turn into water vapor. This invisible vapor then rises into the atmosphere. Now imagine a kettle boiling on a stove. The steam rising from the spout, that's evaporation in action. Next, we have condensation. As this water vapor rises, it encounters cooler temperatures in the atmosphere. This causes it to transform back into tiny droplets of liquid water, which group together to form clouds. And that, my friends, is the first part of the water cycle. Once the water vapor rises into the cooler parts of the atmosphere, we move on to the next phase: condensation. Now, in the cooler upper regions of the atmosphere, a transformation occurs. As the sun's energy causes water to evaporate from the Earth's surface, this water vapor ascends into the atmosphere. Here, it meets a cooler environment, and an enchanting change takes place. This water vapor begins to cool and condense, transforming back into liquid form. This process forms tiny water droplets, almost microscopic in size. Imagine these minute droplets being so light, so airy, that they easily float in the air, defying gravity. Such is the whimsical dance of nature, where the seemingly impossible becomes possible. These droplets then begin to cluster together, becoming a magnificent spectacle we know as clouds. These aren't just any clouds. They are the cradle of future raindrops. These tiny droplets are the building blocks of rain, but we're not quite there yet. This is merely the birth of a cloud, a precursor to the fascinating journey of a raindrop. So, we have a cloud full of water droplets, but how do they become rain? Well, it all starts with a little dance. Inside the cloud, millions of water droplets move around, bumping into each other. When they collide, they combine, creating larger droplets. This process is called coalescence. As these droplets grow, they become heavier. Meanwhile, the cloud is a bustling place. It's filled with updrafts and downdrafts, currents of air moving in different directions. These air currents can carry the droplets up and down, giving them more time to grow. But there comes a point when these droplets can't defy gravity any longer. They've become too heavy to float in the air. And so, they start to fall. As they fall, they may continue to bump into other droplets, growing even larger. And once they escape the cloud, we see them as rain. And just like that, a raindrop is born and begins its journey to the earth. From high in the sky to the ground below, the journey of a raindrop is a remarkable one. Born high above in the clouds, our raindrop is no ordinary droplet. It's a traveler, a voyager, embarking on a journey that could take it across the world. The story begins with the water cycle, where our raindrop's journey is initiated. Evaporation lifts it from the surface of the ocean, only to condense into clouds high in the atmosphere. Here it waits, suspended in the sky, until conditions are just right. Then, amidst the clouds' cool climes, our raindrop takes form. It grows, colliding and merging with other droplets, until it's heavy enough to break free from the cloud's grasp. And thus, the final part of its journey begins. It falls, rushing towards the earth with a grace that belies the complexity of its birth. So next time you're stuck in a downpour, remember the incredible journey those raindrops have taken to get there.